I mean, I realized I was transgender back in August of '08, late August, and I hadn't been able to do anything about it. I got the blood tests as I could to see what could be done because that's the first step, and I was told I couldn't be prescribed not because the doctor wasn't able to get him, but because I probably would have been lynched. So it's for my own safety. It's a better safe than sorry situation, which I fully agreed. I've lived by that. Better safe than sorry. If this may have a negative repercussion, don't do it.
Yeah. Who cares if most of the town is supportive if there's one person who might kill you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they'd be mobbed afterwards, but it'd be too little too late.
Yeah.
Felt that because they had offered it to me, I felt it would be wrong of me to just ditch out on them. Like, I felt like they opened this place to me so I could stay down here. I don't want to betray that. Even though it was horrible living conditions. I mean, she even once threatened to stab me if she accidentally cut herself cutting food. And it was like, whoa. That's kind of an extreme reaction. You cut yourself, I get stabbed. How's that work? But anyways, and she had recounted a bunch of events from my stay there, and they were so incredibly twisted to make me look like I was a bumbling moron and her look like she was friggin' Einstein. And it was like, I don't know what it was, but my body did, like, I made a weird sound and I freaking shut down. And when I came to about 30 minutes later, I couldn't move. So I struggled to get up, and I started managed to slowly get all my functions back in my control, and they kicked me out, and they said I could stay there until I found somewhere else to move to. And for me, that place was the streets here in San Francisco.
So MSC South is like a big room full of 20 bunk beds, right? 20.
I didn't even get in. I fell asleep in the waiting area because it was so over capacity. That's pretty much all you can do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's oh, you can sleep in the waiting room, but if you see with the blanket, we're gonna take it away from you.
Huh.
And it's a crazy place, and it's definitely motivation to make sure you don't have to go into the adult shelters. And yeah, I do have I kind of do have a method that relieves the suicidal urge and is guaranteed to fail it. So I choke myself, I'll be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just to get the urge out. I'm far too weak to actually do anything. And even if I did pass out, my arms would relax and I would be fine. It's a foolproof plan.
Safer than other methods, that's for sure.
Yeah, because other methods you might accidentally kill yourself. With this one, you won't.
Yeah.
Unless for some reason you were playing with super glue before doing it. Oh yeah, I love my mom, and she loves me. I mean, if she didn't, I wouldn't have gotten these awesome outfits. Fortunately, I never had a horrible home growing up with abusive family members. I never had all these misfortunes that you hear about, or that become stereotypes for reasons people run away. I never had any of that. It was just because my location, I had to move so I could do what I needed to. And I never had the misfortune of having to actually sleep on the streets because I always had places to go. There were always places to go. So I was very thankful for that. And even though I may not have experienced the worst of it, and I don't presume to know the worst of it, I still feel there's the vital service I can have by advocating for better availability of resources. I guess would be the best term to use for that. And other stuff that we need.
And what are the most important things to advocate for, do you think?
Advocate? Probably the fact that we exist. Regarding the LGBT youth specifically, just there's been a lot of advances, but I think better opportunities in the workforce. There were some laws passed to help stop discrimination like that, but I still feel that more could be done about it, and availability of jobs too. I never do anything to deal with the police. I mean, heck, I support the Occupy movement, but I never went to the camps because it's hard enough to get a job when you're trans. Even if there's all the protections, it's still hard. Having something on having a criminal record is not going to help matters much. If anything, it's going to make it even more impossible.